Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. In case you're wondering why the hell this is 7.5, the Alpha 7.5 version, when the game is probably in a later stage at this point, is because I'm recording this on July 29th as a bit of a stockpile for content to make sure that I still have content on my channel as I am, well, either attending the birth or being sleep deprived just after the birth of my son. That's still a weird thing to say, but here we are. Anyway, this is Alpha 7.5. By the time that you're watching this, the game has probably progressed, and that's alright, but most of the mechanics will probably still be the same. Today's scenario is by Elmetian, and it's called The Gift. It is 1942. The UK has gifted a pair of older battlecruisers to Soviet Russia to aid them against the Germans. The task force, consisting of 2 battlecruisers and an escort of 8 destroyers, has set sail from Scapa Flow heading to the port of Murmansk. Unbeknownst to the British Admiralty, the battleship Tirpitz, heavy cruisers Prinz and Admiral Scheer, and 4 destroyers have left Norway to intercept the British fleet. You will play as the British destroyer group commander. Your task is to protect the battlecruisers. You should design the most powerful DD that you can, and assume that you will not be able to rely on the skeleton crews on the battlecruisers. You should include a balanced mix of guns and torpedoes. My era is 1935. I'm going to be designing 8 destroyers, and the 2 battlecruisers will be AI designed. The enemy is consisting of the battleship, 2 heavies, and 4 destroyers. Win condition: ensure that at least 1 British battlecruiser survives for 6 hours. That's when a British hunter-killer escort carrier group will arrive in the area to provide reinforcements. That is, of course, a fictional group, as at least in Alpha 7.5 there are no carriers. Maybe they'll never be added, I don't know. Anything else I should know about the objective or about the scenario? There is a secondary objective, and that's to end the battle with positive points. You start at 0 points. Losing a destroyer is going to cost me 5 points. Losing a battlecruiser is going to cost me 20 points. Killing a battleship, 30 points gained. Killing a heavy cruiser, 10 points gained. Killing a DD, 5 points gained. So basically, survive, sink the enemy fleet, and have some points while you're doing it. At least that's the summary of it. Alright, let's get to designing. If you want to have your scenario featured in a video as well, down below in the description. I have, at this point of the recording, about 500 scenarios. I think 550 at this point. So I have a few lying around. That means that it might take me a while to get around to doing yours. But don't be dissuaded, just send it in and I might eventually get around to it. Alright, for this build, I want to try and resemble something that looks like the Daring class. Now, the Daring is actually from 1949, and this British destroyer, of course, was definitely not in service back in the time when this scenario is supposedly taking place. But I'll have to try and approximate the design as best I can. The Daring class had a displacement of 2,830 tons. Now, I can approximate that to 2,850, so that's quite good. Speed is going to be important for these ships, but unfortunately the Darings only had 30 knots. Now, that could be a bottleneck for me. Let's say their range is long. They had... Actually, no, it's not that long. They had 4,400 nautical miles, 8,100 kilometers at 20 knots. So maybe medium range. And then many bulkheads. What were these things powered by? They had Foster Wheeler boilers, and that means steam turbines, and I'm assuming at this point geared steam turbines. They're running on oil, they had forced boilers, turbo-electric drive, and advanced propeller shaft 2. Group 4, double bottom. Let's go for reinforced bulkheads instead of reinforced bulkheads and watertight doors. I still don't quite understand why you would not have watertight doors as a standard on battleships. Let's say, well, not so much battleships, but warships in general. I thought that all of them were built that way, but okay, here we are. Actually, yeah, let's do reinforced 2 and then anti-flood 2. Alright, what did these guys have for armaments? They had 6 4.5-inch guns. 4.5. They had to make it a weird measurement, right? Because it's not like I can either put 4 or 5. I can put 4 or 5, but not 4.5. So let's go for 4-inch guns. And they had those in 3 twin mountings. Let's put up a secondary tower, and I can probably put the last turret back there. They also had torpedo tubes, A pentad torpedo tube, which I believe is for the British a quintuple launcher. They had 2 of those, which carry 21-inch torpedoes. So let's set that to 21-inch torpedoes and 2 quintuple launchers. There is the small issue of having to have a funnel here. Maybe I should fit that in. Now, let's see. How are these things designed? It looks like the torpedo tubes were behind the funnel, insofar as I can find any good pictures of these classes of ships. They're not that easy to find. Trying to build historic ships is always interesting, especially in this type of game. Right, they had... It's almost like they had 2 funnels. That's HMS Daring H16, that's the wrong type of ship. Yeah, it looks like they had a standard funnel sitting somewhere in the middle, like right there. And that means that I'm going to have 1 torpedo launcher there and 1 here. The aft weight offset is pretty heavy, 6.7. Maybe I could play around with the turrets a bit, but... Oh, sorry, I need to go the other way. Duh. They need to be going over here. Tower a bit more. Unfortunately, most parts in these ships is really quite light. So it's going to be tricky to try and get these things heavier. One good way of making them heavier, however, is adding a radar. And I think that especially for a DD, that is pretty important. Because having a radar is going to allow you to spot the enemy before they spot you. And that means you get a lot of advantages. Now, as for propellant, pick something interesting. TNT. I haven't used TNT in a while. How can I get rid of that aft weight offset? 163 tons for the tower, 177 tons for the advanced tower 2. I could upgrade to 5-inch, which might get me a bit more weight on the turrets. It's going to put them from 14 tons to 32 tons. I would also have to pick a different barbette here. And that pretty much fixes the aft weight offset until I throw another 32 tons on the stern. But we're only doing 2.8%. That is actually quite good. Now, anything else I need to know about these ships? Did they have a secondary armament, insofar as you can actually have one on a destroyer? They had 4 40mm Bofors. Right. So it'd be great if I could fit, let's say, a couple of smaller guns here and there. More as a bit of an afterthought, almost, than an actual anti-air defense. Because at least in the current version of the game, that is not required. Let's move this torpedo tube slightly. This might also help a bit. 2.6. Can I shift this? 1.3. Oh. Okay. My bow's too heavy. 0.7. 0.3. Ah, too close. Alright, 0.3 is something I'm willing to accept. Now, armor on a DD. That's amusing. And greatly unlikely in the situation. I do have a lot of displacement left, but I really don't know what to put that in. Let's make these electric torpedoes. This will allow them to run for 12.7 kilometers, and that should keep me away from the enemy's fire. At least their secondaries, I think 8-inch have a range of 15, 16, if that. So I'm hoping to stay well away from those things. It's not always going to be possible, but we'll just have to duck in and out and use smoke screens. Let's put some heavy shells on there. Anti-flooding 3 can be a good upgrade. Bulkheads to maximum. How much armor could I put on a destroyer? 1.5 inch. Wow. I'm thinking that maybe adding armor is actually a bad idea. Because it could cause these ships to not head over pens, but instead to just absorb full pens. Whereas if you have almost no armor, it just flies in one side, out the other, and you don't actually take any damage from it. The way that I have it set up right now could be a problem. It could be a problem. But I haven't tested it yet, so I might as well. Now, do these things line up distance-wise or length-wise? They were 390 feet. Mine are 449 feet. Jesus. They had a beam of 43 feet versus my 52 feet. And the draft is 12.75 feet for... Oh. Hold on. No, sorry, I'm comparing draft to draw. It's something different, if I'm not mistaken. Huh. Displacement standard 2633 tons versus 2830. Full load 3820 for those guys and 2850 for me with a normal displacement. Okay, I'd say we're just about ready. Let's try and escort some of those battle cruisers to the Russians. My plan is to split up my destroyers in 2 groups of 4 and try to approach the German battleship from 2 different angles, drop torpedoes at it, disengage, try and shield the battle cruisers using the sonar from the DDs, if at all possible. And to make sure that I'm not going to be controlling these guys, as they are supposedly Russian skeleton crews, I'm going to set the battle cruisers to be controlled by the AI. Now that might come back to haunt me later. We'll just have to see. Our battle cruisers, the Bellerophon and the Howe, have 16-inch guns, 9 of them. A whole 1 7-inch secondary. Wow, that's impressive. No torpedoes. A speed of 26 knots? Are you nuts? Who builds a battle cruiser at 26 knots? These things have almost no armor. Speed is their essence of survival. This is going to be a really interesting fight. They have Generation 2 radar, stereoscopic range finding 2. Jesus. Citadel 4, anti-flooding 1. Anti-torpedo is at least pretty good. They got Krupp 2 armor? What did the AI shaft me with this time around? Natural boilers? Well, at least they got 2 funnels on there. Okay. Good luck. We already have eyes on the Germans. It looks like they're heading away from me. And I'm seeing a destroyer. Potentially a destroyer leader, judging by the size of that monster. Triple barrel, what I think are 5-inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of turrets. So that's 15 guns on the broadside for a destroyer. Torpedo... bow-mounted torpedo launcher. And 1 amidships. A couple of smaller secondaries. And that's the crux of it. Okay. Looks like the German battleship is already opening up. Oh, that looks really good. It's supposed to be Tirpitz. I think it might have just picked dual 15-inch guns. Wow. Well done. Interesting placement over here of those secondaries. Just had to get those shells away. They were... Thank you, they were constantly making noise. 1 funnel, 2 funnels... Potentially 4 or 5-inch secondaries here. This is going to be a big guy to take down. Tricky one. Alright, what about your heavy cruisers? I mean, we can see the whole fleet. Here are the heavy cruisers. Oof. That's a lot of guns. That is 18 guns. Visual identification says no torpedoes. That's good. It's better than those Japanese cruisers, which usually have almost more torpedoes than main guns. Alright, what's the formation of my fleet? We have Voyager, Woodpecker, Larn, Nicator, and Venetia. And Seawolf, Walrus, and Manly. We are in front of the battle cruisers. Their destroyers are moving away at a range of 10. Okay. Now, I want the Venetia to join a different group. The Venetia is going to be joining the Seawolf / Manly's group. So you're going to join up like that. I might have range on the torpedoes, but they are heading away. So let's make a hard turn to starboard. And try and come in from two slightly different vectors. So you're going to come in from here, you're going to come in from there. My DDs only do 30 knots. Which makes them, well, not so much easy pickings, but in this game, speed is life. And in this game, I am not very confident about the survivability of my destroyer. Holy shit! Okay. A 7-inch gun from the battlecruiser hit a DD and sunk it. What the hell? That was the first 90 seconds of the battle. Sweet Jesus, that was a lucky hit. They're still building their accuracy. That was a ranging shot that actually hit the target. Now, it looks like the Howe is flooding and on fire after being hit by a 15-inch shell from, well, supposedly Tirpitz, but that's probably not what the ship's going to be called. Oh dear. A couple of battlecruisers broadside onto the enemy. Right. I'm hoping that the smoke screens from Seawolf, Walrus, Manly, and Venetia might provide some assistance to the battlecruisers, but I'm not really expecting anything from them. It's more of an afterthought. Alright, we have torpedo range. I want the DDs to start heading straight. What the fuck? What is happening here? Bellerophon just got 2 flash fires. We're now a little less than 4 minutes in, and they've lost the DD, but I've lost the battlecruiser. Holy shit. What happened to you, buddy? You got hit by a 15-inch shell, another 15-inch, and another 15-inch. That's destroyed a main gun, you're on fire, rudder damaged, flash fire, main gun destroyed, engine damaged, barbette destroyed, flash fire, ship dead. Wow. She got the full hood experience. Not in a good way. Oh, dude, this could be a very quick scenario if it's gonna continue on like this. I'm gonna set specific targets for all of these DDs. If you want to specifically set a target for your ships with your torpedoes, click Control-Shift, and then right-click a target. Now, the other DDs might be subjected to fire as well. So that's Voyager and Woodpecker. Oh crap, it's the wrong group. Voyager here. Woodpecker is not in range yet, but there. Larn over there. Nicator over there. Manly is the lead group here. That one. Walrus. Oh, oh, oh. Don't move all the way over there. Seawolf and that warship somewhere back there. Oh no. It looks like the other battlecruiser is also in a bad way. She just got hit again for 118. The battlecruisers are pretty paramount for this scenario. But the way they're behaving is giving me a lot of cause for concern. Oh shit, Voyager's on fire. We are in torpedo range. Another shell hits the battlecruiser. This is why I want my battlecruisers to have speed. Because they're just sitting ducks against the battleship. Voyager is clear to launch torpedoes, so is Woodpecker. Manly's group, open up when ready. Reload for these is 750 seconds, so we're gonna need a while. Looks like we have done a little bit of damage to the battleship. Hopefully the torpedoes are gonna exacerbate that amount of damage very quickly. Remind me, what are you trying to hit? This guy, right? Yeah. Range? 10 kilometers. You are in range. Aggressive launch from Voyager and Woodpecker. Now we have a heavy cruiser coming in. That could be a severe threat to the DDs, especially since they have just lost the cover of their smokescreen. Oh dear. Manly. It's time to do the manly thing and fall back and fight another day. Walrus is still ready to fire. New target for Walrus. Seawolf has launched her set of torpedoes going... Going where? What is this supposed to be? Seawolf. What the hell, dude? I'm not even sure what you're trying to hit. Alright, Voyager has her torps off. What about the Larn? I want to make life very difficult on the Fürst Bismarck heavy cruiser. And ideally also send in a spread from the Nicator. We got torps going here and here. Oh, I got it. This is the route that probably these heavy cruisers were originally taking. And now they're changing course. Because they've been constantly maneuvering as they're reacting to the destroyers maneuvering. So, probably one of these heavy cruisers was initially going to head this way. And as it did, that is when my TD, I think the Seawolf, launched her torpedoes, this set. So that would explain why I'm suddenly seeing torpedoes at all sorts of weird angles. Oh, that battleship of theirs is in a pretty bad way. It's already flooded a bit more than I expected. Did you guys build Tirpitz without any bulkheads? Deutschland. Few bulkheads. 73,000 tons. Hold on, I need to pay attention to a torpedo here. Here. The Manly's going to be alright. The rest of the ships in the formation are going to have a pretty rough time. Seawolf is doing donuts, trying to maintain her position in the formation. I think I'm going to have to split off the Walrus for a bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Walrus. This way, please. Smoke screen's up in 18... No, 1 minute 18. Bit more time. Now, thanks to this low speed, their turning circle is fantastic at just 313 meters. Walrus has sent torpedoes in... Ooh. Oh, no. Has sent torpedoes in a response to the heavy cruiser. Oh, dear. Russian crews not knowing how to handle British battlecruisers. It's going to be a problem. Please tell me I can actually torpedo the Deutschland. Does she have sonar? Sonar 2. These are electric torpedoes, though. They're pretty damn difficult to spot. Seawolf. Don't do anything stupid. Alright, Seawolf's fine. We got torpedoes going out every which way. Here, here, here. Most of them just seem to be pretty much ignored by the heavy cruisers. These guys have a turning circle of 805 meters. That's pretty bad. They might detect it using their sonar. But I'm rather hoping they won't. We're getting hits by a DD? Uh-oh. That's bad news. Seawolf just took a chunk of damage. Those 6-inch guns from those no, not battle cruisers. The heavy cruisers are really dangerous. Maybe this set could do something, depending on how it's going to turn. Seawolf's engine is damaged. What are you getting hit by? 6-inch shells and 4-inch shells. That's a secondary from these heavy cruisers. These guys are going to make it very, very difficult indeed. Phoenicia just launched another set. Seems to be 2 more inbound torpedoes here. Deutschland detected torpedoes. Yes. Unfortunately for Deutschland, none of them are going to hit. You guys smoking up yet? I could highly recommend it. Every ship in the Voyager group, if you have torpedoes, throw them towards the Deutschland. The Howe is still alive, but she just managed to steer her way into a torpedo. You can barely see it, but it's in her wake here. Boom. I think the Russians might need to do some damage repair after they get their new battlecruisers. Oh, snap. Those torpedoes could be a threat to the walrus. These heavy cruisers seem to be making a joke out of my torpedoes. Because I keep throwing them out here, there, but nothing is actually sticking to these battlecruisers. Oh, sorry, to the heavies. Not the battlecruisers. Alright, Walrus, you're fine. You can rejoin the group. Voyager? I'm going bow into that battleship. It's probably not really going to be a great way to torpedo it. But I managed to park myself in a pretty nasty spot. There is another option. If I split off the Larn and the Nicator, I could approach from this side and the others from the other side and just try to cross-torp it again. Alright, Larn, you're now a new group. You're gonna head that way. I don't really expect to see these ships again, because they'll probably not survive the close encounter with the Deutschland. Voyager, Woodpecker, turn towards the battleship. Head north. Now, scoring-wise, I'm not doing well. I have managed to sink a destroyer, that's plus 5 points, but I've lost a battlecruiser, which is minus 20 points, so I'm down 15 points. What are you guys doing? Oh, you're... Really? I told the Walrus to join the formation, and instead the whole group from the Manly decided, you know what? We're going to just stick with that ship, and we're going to follow the Walrus. Bad idea. Bad idea. Because you won't actually be in a good position. Deutschland firing back with 4-inch, 3-inch, 8-inch guns. Do not send your torpedoes. We have a torpedo coming in towards the Nicator, but she should be out of the way by then. I got another hit on the battlecruiser. She's limping off at just 12 knots. And she's probably going to get hit again. The AI really shafted me with the designs on those battlecruisers. It's really difficult to make those things work. And it's also really difficult to make DDs work at just 30 knots. Ideally, they would be a hell of a lot faster. At least in 7.5, you really benefit from having exceptionally fast ships. Deutschland's on fire. That must be done by the 5-inch shells then. They're not... I'm not even sure if they're registering. Oh, there we go. They are registering. But the hits are so small that the game doesn't even consider them in the recent events log for the Deutschland. That's how little damage those do. Dude. V1 detected torpedoes? Oh. Right, we still have them going. These... Do I still have torpedoes going towards my own ships? No, it seems fine. I'm glad that the... Oh. That the Bismarck, the first Bismarck, is not firing, but she is. She has spun her guns towards the port side, and she's now opening up against the Larn. Well, that was the Larn. It looks like by the amount of damage that she took, that was a 15-inch shell. Yeah. 16,000 damage against the DD. DD dead. This whole scenario is going down the toilet very, very quickly. The one hope that I still have is that Voyager and Woodpecker can use their torpedo tubes and immediately put the Deutschland down In which case I would find myself in a bit of an easier position, as hopefully the AI then sorts out their mess and tries to start killing the heavy cruisers. And by doing so, I can start to one-on-one their destroyers. Now I still have to wait probably another 2 minutes before my torpedoes are reloaded, and I arrived in this position too early. Rudder damaged on the Nicator. Maybe one of the sets is ready. I really hope so. Voyager and Woodpecker are in a far better position. At least reload-wise. And we're sort of harassing the battleship with our 5-inch guns. But overall, it's just a few fires. And they don't really seem to care much about those anyway. Deutschland has 1 fire raging amidships. And they're pretty quick to turn out things to put those things back out. At least the battleship is now getting distracted. The battlecruiser hit the Deutschland for 97 damage and caused flooding. Voyager is almost ready. 3 clicks out. Nicator is in a bad spot. Flooding, on fire, and a damaged rudder, making it very difficult for her to get in a good torpedo position. Hold off for a second. I really hope that the Deutschland's not going to recognize the threat that Voyager poses. But I think that those 4-inch, 3-inch guns are all focusing on Voyager right about now. And this is the moment that Voyager picks to start changing course. Because she's been damaged too heavily, and she tries to fall in behind Woodpecker. Not what I want. Voyager almost ready on the torpedoes. This is going to be very, very, very close. Voyager, send it. What? Ah, there we go. The second salvo is away as well. Now Voyager can try to turn out before she's going to be forced to 1v1 the V2. Yes, that's an actual sentence now. 1v1 the V2. Nicator, almost reloaded as well. I just hope that these guys don't attack the torpedoes too soon. Their torpedoes are now 1.6 clicks relative to the Deutschland. I'm using the Voyager as a bit of a lightning rod to attract all the fire so that the Woodpecker, hopefully, can land her torpedoes as well. Because they might be 21-inch torpedoes, but we're looking at a 73,000-ton battleship. That thing needs to go. Deutschland detected enemy torpedoes. Voyager took a crippling hit, putting the entire ship on fire. And either the structural integrity will fail. Yeah, there we go. The extensive fire killed her. Alright, do it. Woodpecker, starboard launch. Get ready. Oh, don't hit me. Thank you. That's the picture I wanted to see. And here come the torpedoes. The farewell gift from Voyager. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 torpedoes crippling the Deutschland. Damaged engine, damaged rudder. The ship's flooding. But it's still a big girl. Or a guy. I'm still not sure whether the Germans call him female or male. It looks like the Nicator might have something else on her mind. I was hoping to use her against the Deutschland. But the Deutschland might sink as she eats another full spread of 10 torpedoes. Nicator sent her torpedoes, probably in a last-ditch effort, against the Fürst Bismarck. First heavily turning to starboard, desperately avoiding the torpedoes. And she's probably going to avoid most of them. There goes the Nicator. Oh no! Holy shit. Oh, they all missed. They all missed. And the Deutschland, after being hit by 19 torpedoes, is still afloat. You wouldn't make this shit up. She's still flooding. I'm seriously hoping that this will kill her. 6%, 5%, 4, 3, 2.8, gone. Finally. The 15-inch guns fall silent, leaving the enemy with 2 heavy cruisers with 6-inch guns. These are almost perfect to use against destroyers. And therein lies my problem. I still have 4 destroyers. And generally I'd like to say superior skill when dogfighting other DDs. Or 1v1ing them. But, well, as you might have seen from previous videos, I wouldn't take that level of skill too seriously. The Howe is now engaging the heavy cruisers with both main 16-inch and 7-inch guns. She has taken a pretty heavy beating, leading to a 30% damage instability. Coronel is her target. The Coronel apparently has, with 36 knots, a very fast speed of minus 85% debuff. I'm just hoping that we can slow her down a bit. Yeah, Coronel already evaded the torpedo simply by her previously initiated maneuver. This is going to be a very tough fight. I'm hoping that the walrus can escape. She can still maneuver at 28 knots. I am, however, starting to run out of torpedoes. I have 4 destroyers left. Now, let's check the score. I have lost a battlecruiser, and I've lost 4 destroyers. So, I am down 40 points, but I've killed a battleship for 30 points. So that puts me to minus 10, and I've sunk 1 DD, which puts me to minus 5. End the battle with positive points. That's the plan. Walrus detects enemy torpedoes. Position. Hello? Torpedoes? Walrus detected them, but then where are they? 404 torpedoes not found. Which are usually the most dangerous torpedoes. Another salvo of 16-inch shells harmlessly passes by the Coronel, not doing any kind of damage. At least their destroyers don't really seem to make an effort. That's good for me. I guess I'm just gonna have to let the game run for a bit. Try to get closer to their destroyers. And let the battlecruiser work over the heavy cruisers. Insofar as it can do anything. Oh, it can. She took a 25% chunk out of the Fürst Bismarck. Damaging 1 engine. That's good news. It's going to reduce her speed, and with that, the debuff. I think, however, that this ship is pretty capable of getting that engine back operational, because the engine compartment has not flooded. Bulkheads maximum. You had to go there, didn't you? The DDs are all very furiously picking away with their 5-inch guns. Battlecruiser still has 1,000 shells left, so that should be enough. First Bismarck seems to be changing formation to try and fall in behind Coronel. Alright, the DDs are 11 clicks out. Manley has torpedoes, Venetia has torpedoes, and Seawolf has torpedoes, but she's lagging a bit as she has engine trouble. Seawolf, what's your speed? Seawolf can 23 knots. Alright, that's not too bad. I'm hesitant to launch my torpedoes against the heavy cruisers. Because these guys are circling like crazy. And that makes them very difficult to hit. Although not for the battlecruiser, as she lands a perfectly good hit on the Coronel. Also taking a 25% chunk out of her. Fires again. She's still flooding. 2 compartments. Hold on a minute. All DDs. Target the Coronel. Coronel is at 63% buoyancy and should now be recovering. Oh, damn it. Salvo of torpedoes. Oh, no. The Howe is making a port course correction. I'm seriously not going to help her evade those torpedoes because she is controlled by the Russians. I can tell them that the torpedoes are coming, but I'm not going to take control of her. So this could very well be the end of the scenario. As the Howe is going to just eat the torpedoes. Unless they run out. 11 clicks to the V1. These things have a range of 14.8. Oh, she's turning. She might fit in that gap. Howe has detected the torpedoes. She's zigzagging. But I've seen the AI zigzag before. It didn't work out too well. Oh, fuck me. Manley is taking some serious damage. Alright, screw it. We're torpedoing these guys. Manley torpedoes the first the Fust Bismarck. The others torpedo against the Coronel. Waters. Not ready. Please put one of these things on the bottom. Because they're gonna kill my my manliness here. No, they're gonna kill the Manly. Still. That's a perfectly good destroyer. Well, perfectly good. Good as new. She might need some patchwork here and there. Bit of new paint. Aside from that, she's fine. Alright, you guys, sonar 2. Let's see if that's enough. Torpedoes here, here. And Venetia has not launched. My dear Venetia. What is your excuse? This is not helpful. Venetia. Starboard torpedo target detected. 5.6 kilometers out. Send your torpedoes. Before I lose the whole Venetia. Come on, dude. Rudder damaged. I cannot control the ship any longer. Coronel's halfway flooded. Bismarck just a bit. Have they detected the torps? They have not. I just don't think that's going to do anything. This is going to go right behind the DD, or right behind the CA. This one, similar thing. Any and all hope of sinking these heavy cruisers is going to come onto the battlecruiser, the Howe. And I wouldn't say that the Howe is doing terribly well either. Venetia. She's swinging her torpedo tubes back to port. Slowly. Come on, girl. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Launch. No! No, you numbnuts. Send your torpedoes. British sailors are drunk again. Waters. Range 4.8. Seawolf detected the torpedoes. Which torpedoes are those? Hold on a minute. Are those these torpedoes? No. I don't think so. There might be DDs launching torpedoes at me. This one's almost reloaded. This one's fully loaded. This one has sent torpedoes some time ago, but the real question is when was it? And at who? At the battlecruiser, so not me. You are 14 clicks out. Yeah, that's the maximum range of your torpedoes, 14.8. So it's not my destroyers that are being targeted. Oh, the Venetia finally joined in. Jesus, that took forever. Torpedoes out. Oh! Depending on how well the first Bismarck is going to turn. Yeah, she completely outturned those torpedoes. Fine. Walrus, how dangerous do you want to live? Because you get one set of torpedoes and a couple of good engines. And we're going to make use of both of them. What are you targeting? Don't say it's Walrus. I think it's Walrus. Looking at those bow turrets. I really don't like the look of that. Walrus, range. Please tell me you can do better than the other DD that sunk. Come on, girl. Port turn. Torpedo target, Coronel. Have you been hit at all by the torpedo? Fuck me, she was hit. The how? Oh no. Range 1.9. I want to have these torpedoes land on the Coronel. It's a 20,000 ton ship. Fairly sizable for a heavy cruiser. But against a 21-inch torpedo tube, she might struggle. Oh! The hell? Hello. What the fuck? Why on earth is my battlecruiser sinking destroyers? The house over here. With a 16-inch shell? Well, okay, she just blew a destroyer away. Maybe that's mostly a self-defense move. Shit is happening all over the place, and all of it's weird. Don't get hit too badly. Torpedoes to starboard. Get rid of that German heavy cruiser. Torpedoes away, Walrus, both sets. Torpedoes away from Walrus. Walrus is out. No more torpedoes there. Phoenicia still has her torpedoes, but they're all reloading. And both Phoenicia and Seawolf are heavily damaged. Coronel has detected the torpedoes, as I imagine she would. She's turning to port to evade. Damaged engine, meaning that she's slower, which is actually going to help her in this case. Because she'll be just able to outturn the torpedoes. And I think she's going to get away with it. Again. These heavy cruisers have gotten really good at just avoiding the torpedoes altogether. Although... it's going to be a... no, actually. Actually. This is looking pretty good. She's not capable of outturning them. Interesting. This is going to kill her. I hope. 2 torpedoes. Slamming into the stern of the ship. Maximum bulkheads are going to put that... ooh, 3 torpedoes. 4. 5. Okay. Maybe there's hope yet. Coronel's going down. Buoyancy 40% and dropping. She's flooding in 1, 2, 3, 4 compartments. 5 compartments. Ship's ripped open on the whole starboard side of the ship. Look at that. This is normal. This is fine. 14% buoyancy, 11%, 10%, 7%, 6%, 3, 2, 0. She's gone. The Howe is now targeting the DDs, again with her 16-inch armament. So she still appears to be pretty interested in killing DDs. Which I can get behind, because the DDs appear to be launching torpedoes at her. And with 3 damaged engines, the Howe is dead in the water. She's going to slow down to 9 knots. Depending on when those engines were damaged, that could be good news. Because if the DD were to launch the torpedoes before that happened, then... uh-oh. If the DD launched her torpedoes before the damage to the engines happened, then the ship's going to suddenly slow down, and they'll be able to be avoided, the torpedoes. But I think that the Howe is just going to be dying very, very soon. Depending on how good the AI is with the rudder. She's not quite getting cross-torped. Got torps here and here. If you maneuver to starboard, you might live. Don't mind the arrow, that's not an accurate representation of what the ship's doing. She's firing back with her 1 7-inch gun against the DDs. She avoided all the torpedoes. Well done. Now my DDs are all but down for the count. I really cannot rely on these to either do gunfighting or to try and engage the heavy cruiser with their torpedoes. Because those heavy cruisers just keep foisting my ability to sink it. Nevertheless, I don't have any other plays. The Walrus is out of torpedoes. The Seawolf and Venetia are ready and almost ready. And the heavy cruiser is... oh, she's moving away. Starting to do damage against the battlecruiser. Aren't you? She's done a fair amount of damage. The V1 seems to have severe flooding. Come on. Oh, close. Come on, Hal. You can do this. Russian crew, unfamiliar ship. Make it work. No! Ideally, the Howe would target the heavy cruiser, because she could blow that thing away. Hold on, how much ammo does that thing still have? 2,400 shells. Okay, so we don't really have to rely on the heavy cruiser running out of ammo. Yep. Oh, so close. She's flooding again. A few bulkheads. Oh no! No, 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 no. Turn, 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 turn. Oh, ow, ow. Flooding. Many bulkheads. Oh, there's more. Turn, 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 turn. Oh. Okay, she avoided that. But I think the flooding is not under control. Bow compartments filling up. Oh, she's pumping it back out. 4%, 5%, 6%. I can tell you, this battle is a lot more exciting when you're not in control of it. Seawolf, engage the V1. How is back up to 11%? Going. Oh, there goes the V1. Holy shit, this battlecruiser's fighting back now. She's done 8,500 damage, which is more than half of the entirety of the damage that I've inflicted. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You really want to get those guns off before she... oh. No. She got hit by a destroyer, by a torpedo from her own destroyer. Okay. That could be a very important moment in the battle. Because if she can make sure that she slows down by taking on more water and having another damaged engine, well, she's not quite going to be easy pickings for the battlecruiser, but it's going to be a lot easier. This is going to be a very close fight. And it's also a very long video, 55 minutes. So if you're still watching, let's make it another one of those fun things. Type in the comment section how you doing. Just make it sure H-O-W-E, how you doing. Alternative to the Friends way of spelling it. How you doing? Well, the DD's not doing too well, I can tell you. Damaged engines, rudder, fire, flooding. Another fire. This is when Seawolf starts to come into her own with the 5-inch bow guns. She's done 1,000 damage with those. That's not bad. I'm waiting for one of those 16-inch shells from the Howe to just completely destroy that thing in one hit. But with her current maneuvering, she's not really giving me any hope. Although the turrets are just about to be in range. They're just about to have a good firing angle. Fire and flooding on the V4. Oh! Yes! V4 sinks. Nice work, Howe. Now we just have to take care of a heavy cruiser. Seawolf, you have 10 torpedoes. Set course for the heavy cruiser. The Howe is currently a lot more accurate because that heavy cruiser has slowed down. She has a speed of 19.8 and she's falling. And her accuracy is... oh, it's still being dialed in. I thought I saw something in the range of 10%. Her 7-inch guns are almost running out of ammo. Fortunately, the first Bismarck has no more torpedoes. 6 and 4-inch, still continuously firing. I'm not sure why those barrels haven't overheated at this point. Seawolf, range to the target. 7, 7, 7, 7, 6. Good. Come on, Howe. Don't fail me now, buddy. Don't fail me now, and don't get sunk. Especially don't get sunk. That heavy cruiser is exceptionally accurate with her guns. Then again, she has a radar and a stereoscopic 5 rangefinder. She just did get hit, though. All her guns are currently trained on the battlecruiser, except the 2-inch. Why not the 2-inch? 2, 2, 2. That's a lot of 2-inch guns. Seawolf. Range. 5, 6. Keep going. When that heavy cruiser starts to pay attention to the DD, I'll start to smoke it up. Seawolf is only doing 23 knots. The Walrus is somewhere out of the battle. And the Venetia is... oh, not too far behind. Oh, shit. Flooding on the Howe. Seriously, don't sink now, buddy. I need you alive, otherwise the mission is a failure. Buoyancy 9%, 8%. I could really use an ammo detonation or a flash fire on the first Bismarck at this point. 7% buoyancy. 6. You're cutting it close. 5%. 4.5 clicks out. 2-inch guns are firing at the DD. Set a smoke screen. 4%. 3%. Don't do this to me. 2%. Flooding stopped. Albeit temporarily. This would be the ideal moment to wipe that ship off the map. No, she missed again. Full salvo of the 16-inch guns. She's down to 2% buoyancy. Oh dear. Could have fooled me. You could be saying that the ship is pretty much sinking. Oh. I'm really not comfortable with all those shells landing on my battle cruiser. Range 3-1. Keep going. I know I'm pretty much in range. I mean, I have been in range for the last 5 kilometers and then some. But I just want to make sure that the first Bismarck has nowhere to go. Oh no, both engines on Seawolf damaged. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a turn now. Now I'm forced to make this turn and forced to launch those torps. Torpedoes away, Seawolf first set. Torpedoes away, Seawolf second set. Seawolf turn back. Oh, first Bismarck. 17%. The whole aft is on burning. She's flooding. The Howe is under 2%. She has a damaged rudder and she's flooding. I don't think she's going to be able to turn those torpedoes. Seawolf is limping away at a mere 15 knots. She's on fire. She's flooding some more. She's gone. 7, 8 torpedoes landed on the first Bismarck. My god, did that thing put up a fight. Oh. And the Howe just went down to 2% buoyancy. Okay, status report. I got a start of 8 DDs. I had a start of 2 battlecruisers. I ended with 3 destroyers and 1 battlecruiser, meaning that I lost 1 battlecruiser for a cost of 20 points, and I lost 5 destroyers for a cost of 25 points total. So I'm down 45 points. I killed a battleship, plus 30, so that's minus 15 points total. I killed 2 heavy cruisers, that's 5 points plus, and I killed 4 DDs for 20 points total. So that's a total of 25 points, unless I just made an error somewhere. So, objective, end the battle with positive points, confirmed, and ensure that at least 1 British battlecruiser survives for 6 hours. She survived alright. I just think that the Russians might not be able to use her in the next coming years, because she's going to need a few repairs. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to type how you doing down below in the comment section. This was a hell of a fight. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.